Okay, part 5 million. I will just show you now minting an NFT with some royalties on it. I'll show you how that looks in Hashpat wallet. And I'll also just talk around some caveats really quickly as well, just so that you're across a couple of things that I've seen and experienced. So just a quick detour right up front from the last NFT that we minted. What I didn't show you is that with it uploading that to NFT storage, if you come to your NFT storage dashboard, if you like, you will see that there is a new row provided there for your NFT that you've just uploaded. And you might experience things like this being queued and queuing as well. Remember that the idea here is that when you upload an image and the metadata over to nft.storage, there's a concept of that needing to be synchronized across all nodes. So you can at times experience a bit of a delay between it being uploaded here and being actually seen, and then actually being accessible and available through the different nodes that perhaps different service providers may use. So I saw this where I uploaded an NFT on Design 6, and it maybe took an hour or two for that to synchronize across nodes, and then for me to be able to sort of categorically see it within the Hashpat wallet. So I'll show you what that looks like as well. So just really quickly, if I jump into here, this is my test account. So you can see that the bar across the top says you're using testnet. This is the same account that I plugged into the environment file when we were testing. And these are actually the NFTs that I created last time. You can see that there's nothing there. In essence, it looks like something's broken or gone wrong. It hasn't. It's actually created it fine. So it's got the token ID. And if I jumped back over to here, that would line up with the token ID that was created here, 167 at the end, 167. Test collection is the name. But by all virtue, everything else looks like it's just not there. You can see serial 10s. This is the 10th one that was generated. And equally, if we went into the NFT gallery and looked all the way back to here, you could see serial 1. So it's generated 10 NFTs, but it's not got the metadata there, and it's not got the image there. And that purely comes back to, as long as no other error has happened, of course, that this information here is still synchronizing across nodes on IPFS. So you may not see it appear until that has happened. So give it a little time, go and have a cup of tea, go for a walk in nature, spend some time with your family, whatever it is that you enjoy doing, and then come back and check it out. And you should sort of see that after a short amount of time, you should then be able to see it in Hashpat Wallet. Okay, so just jumping into another example really quickly around royalties. So I'm going to copy this collection ID just to show you this example where I can pop this into there to say, hey, I want to expand this collection, and I want to add some NFTs to it. I'm going to change the name of this, much like I had before. I'll put second test token. Second test description. I could change the image entirely that was there. I'll drop this down to 5 just to prove that it's adding something different to it. And then just down here, I want to add some royalties to it. So say on this particular NFT, I want to, and that was control and / just to remove all of the comments off that. And I want to add a royalty. I'm going to say, let's say it's 3%, a fallback of 10 HBAR, and to this particular account. This is a random one that I've grabbed off the test net. I've got no affiliation with it. I don't know whose it is, but I do know that when I was testing, I had to make sure that they were valid and available and could receive fees for this to work. Otherwise, it would throw an error for me. So I've just found that this one worked, and it's a test one, so I'm not going to feel too bad about that. So I'll just leave that one there. I'll save the file. There's nothing else really to do at that point. What I will mention though is that if you remember, we created 10 last time we ran through this. What I would expect, if this is working properly, is that then the next serial that we should see in this collection should be 11 through to 15 for those 5 that were created on this occasion. Okay, so I'm just going to, again, I'm going to hit npm start on this. I've saved all my files, not changed anything else. I'm just going to hit enter. It's going to go through, it's not going to create the collection, it's going to utilize the one that's there already. It's picked up the IPFS URL. It's now going through and it's minting. You can see it's starting at 11, it's going through to 15. So it's continued on with the serial numbers for that collection. It's not created a new token. They're all part of that same ID. So all 5 of those are done with royalties on there. I'm going to jump down here. I'm going to go over to Dragonglass, app.dragonglass. I'm going to jump over to the testnet. I'm going to grab the ID that we were working with here so we can then see the additional tokens that is minted against it. I'm going to go search there. I know it's a token, so I'm going to jump into here. I'm going to go into all transactions. And again, you can see the 16 there now. So if I just expand that, you'll see by the time difference in here as well. So where were the ones earlier? So yeah, here we go. So 1:36 a.m. On the time in there. I think that's under UTC time. So you can see then about 20 minutes later, as I've worked through this next part of it, those are the 5 that we've added to this same collection. So it just sort of goes to show you that you can add to a collection as long as you've set it up with the account and the private keys appropriately to enable you to expand it. I've done that quite broadly at the moment to enable it to be really simple for you to use this script. But again, moving forward, there have been a couple of suggestions about being able to selectively implement or not the different capabilities with those keys. So that's something I can talk to a little bit in a separate video or on Twitter or whatever as we need to. If I jump over to Hashpack then, I come out of this, was 342. Let's just do a quick refresh. And we should see, it should jump up, I think, to 347, unless that's refreshed in the background for me. So we'll just give it a second whilst it's going through and querying all of our NFTs. And it's good to see the sort of improvements that have been made on this by the Hashpack team. It's been really good, especially for creators where you've got a load of random NFTs in there that you've been minting and stuff. So I find this pretty cool that they've put a heap of effort into this. Just waiting for that. Just watching this number creep up down the bottom down here. Okay, up to 347, so that's cool. I'm just going to click into this. You can see that the image is there straight away this time, so I must have just pushed through quicker. So just gone into this 617. Actually, the royalties aren't showing on that, which is really strange. So bear with me a second. I'm just going to click through to this. It's definitely got the right name and it's got the right description there, but it's not had the royalties on there, which is really odd. So let's just go back into here for a second. There is no issue with that in that sense. Did I save the file? I believe that I did. Bear with me. I want to pause the video there and I will come back in a second just so I'm not, again, keeping you on. So bear with me. Okay, just did a bit of quick dig in there and I realized the mistake that I made in my assumptions here, but that essentially when you add custom fees, you kind of really need to do that at the collection level. So when you're creating a collection, you really want to be having the fees set up at that point. So what you saw me do before was that I expanded this existing collection and then added the royalties to it. But because I've already created that collection, that's when the sort of royalties would be applied to it. So I'll just whip this out of here so that this isn't an existing collection. And I'll rerun it so that essentially the fees then get applied and get shown. So again, save the file, left the royalty in there, taking the existing collection ID out so it doesn't expand the collection. I'm just going to hit start on that again. And it's created a fee. I could expand that a little bit. It's got fee information in there that it's just confirming for us. It's minting 5 NFTs. And it'll be job done on that one in a second. So that's a good way of confirming that obviously that the custom fee is carried over, which we didn't see if we were to scroll up on the last one. It wasn't there because it wouldn't do it if it wasn't creating the collection. So I'm just going to again grab that ID, and 185 is what it ends in. I'm going to pop this in here. Go to tokens, test collection again. I didn't change the name on this, so you'll have to forgive me on that one. If I jump into this, you can see the 6 transactions that have been created, 1 for minting the collection, and then 5 for each of those supply that are there. Then, if I jump over into Hashpack, 347, adding 5 to that 351, it should be. I'm just going to refresh that, and it might be quick again because it's the same image that we're utilizing when we've minted this NFT again. So what I'm hoping to see here is that when it reloads, it'll be 351 NFTs. We should see the image there. We should see the description. We should also see the royalties attached to that NFT as well. So bear with me a few moments as this sort of just churns through, loading each of the NFTs, and then we can jump into the latest ones that have been created. 352, 357. Yeah, sorry, my brain went a bit dead there. It was 347, wasn't it? So yeah, 5 on that is 352. I'll click through into this, and here you see it. So you can see the name, see the description, and you can see the royalty and the account it's going to, and the fallback and who it's going to as well. So you can kind of see that's been applied successfully. You can see it in the Hashpack wallet, fine. So that all worked, which is what we wanted. So that's pretty much the full walkthrough on it. The only other caveat I would say, just to keep in mind, is that when I ran this for my Series 6, I was creating 30, which isn't a massive number, given the supply that you could have for an NFT out there. I spotted at the time on the mainnet that it seemed to be chugging a little slower than I would have liked it to have been. And at about 15, it fell over with a random transaction rejection that I've got to look through a little bit more. I have put a bit more defensive coding around that to try and catch it. But simply, if I experienced that at the time, all I then needed to do was to come up here, pop in the collection ID for the token that I've just created, and say I had 30 in there before and I know it's created 15, fine. I just reduced that down to 15, saved it, ran it again, and it just added another 15 onto the collection. So if you do experience your minting being interrupted by any rejections or anything like that from the network, then you can simply just pop the new collection ID in up here to expand the existing one, and you can then just change the supply down to whatever it is that you need to create that's left over from that, if that makes sense. That was quite a lot to cover off. I hope that was useful. My plans really with this were to provide you with a facility for being able to mint your own NFTs without needing to be reliant on any other tool or platform potentially in the time being, just to give you that bit of freedom for being able to do it if you want to, as you want to as a creator. I think that's kind of fairly healthy. Like I said, as I move forward, I would like to be able to develop this a little bit further, provide you with a bit more stability, a bit more accessibility, so you don't perhaps need to go through and install random bits of software and do some of the tech yourself. I will work on that as I move forward. It will be a bit of a slow thing for me because I tend to be quite overloaded and time poor, but I will definitely keep working on it as I go forward and add into different transaction examples as I move forward as well. I can see that I'm probably going to need to do burn-in tokens quite shortly as well, because I've been creating so many as part of this minting example that I've now got a ton in there in my test wallet that I want to get rid of. So you can expect that to appear soon. Anyway, I hope those several parts of videos were useful to you. If you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out. I will do my best. Just bear with me, and I'll hopefully get back to you. All right, you take care. Once again, it's Matt from NFT. I'll chat to you again soon. You take care.